The Huddersfield Moors, a place of solitude, a place of isolation, and even a place of secrets. Could this beautiful countryside be on the verge of a geographic catastrophe on a par with the Leaning Tower of Pisa? This is a Bruce Brill special.
Huddersfield, home to many greys, such as Prime Minister Harold Wilson, Star Trek's Patrick Stewart, and Big Brother's buxom beauty, Leslie Sanderson. Huddersfield is used to big things. We can exclusively reveal Huddersfield is home to the country's biggest lie. Residents take pride living in England's biggest town. Little do they know the council have misinformed them for years.
This 40-year-old film reel shows the desperate lengths that Kirklees Council are willing to go in an attempt to make Huddersfield the largest town. We took this to Dr. Horsfall, the area's leading professor and an expert in genetic growth.
What we're seeing here is scientific mayhem. From my understanding, after seeing all this evidence, I would have to think that the scientists back in 1967 tried to make the moor 10 times its size.
Doctor, why would anyone want to make Huddersfield Moor bigger?
Well, the council wouldn't want its residents to think that they weren't living in anything other than the biggest town in England. Local pride would have been damaged. People would have become depressed. So they brought in a group called the CSG to make Huddersfield bigger.
So what were the CSG using to expand the moor?
They're using generic proliferation insertions. Now,
Excuse me? Generic what?
Generic proliferation insertions. In the early 60s, there were massive strides made in genetically enhanced growth. It started with experiments on plants using manipulated seed. These seeds made plants grow to 10 times their normal size. This was called the boom-bloom effect. Now, when Kirklees Council found out that Huddersfield wasn't the biggest town, they hired CSG to insert massive amounts of these seeds into the moor.
Have these insertions worked? Are we now the largest town?
Unfortunately not. Our records actually show that the moor is shrinking, that Huddersfield is being dragged closer to Rochdale.
What evidence have you got to back this claim up?
Look at these pictures. This one was taken before the experiment. And this one was taken last week from the exact same position.
After speaking with Dr. Horsfall, we made numerous attempts to speak with the mayor, but each one was declined. After much searching, we found a council insider willing to shed light on the situation. He asked us to keep his identity secret.
Yes, the moors are shrinking. The two councils, Huddersfield and Rochdale, have held meetings together. They've been holding meetings for the past 10-15 years. In the year 2011, possibly the year 2012, Huddersfield and Rochdale will be merged together in one. There's been names thrown about. Rochdale definitely seems to be the favourite at the minute.
So, the moors are shrinking. Huddersfield is moving closer to Rochdale. The councils have held secret meetings in an attempt to join the two towns. They've even come up with a new name, Rocherfield. Imagine it, Yorkshire and Lancashire combined. What will happen to the roads? These residents are soon to be under the same banner as Bury, Barrow and, dare I say it, Burnley. I took to the streets of Huddersfield to gain the public opinion.
This is Yorkshire, that's Lancashire. Let them stay where they are, we'll stay where we are.
Rocherfield, oh no.
Huddersfield, if it happened.
In man's mind, he's trying to make himself bigger in everywhere, but it's doom, it's doom, it's doom.
When you look at this town, situated on the edge of the Pennines, it is a shame to think its heritage will emerge with a Lancashire town. Is there a way out? Dr. Horsfall believes he has found the answer.
There are a number of possibilities for helping the town, such as taking over Halifax and joining it with the remainder of Huddersfield. But the one I find the most intriguing is the one that we call the jump save.
The jump save. Can you expand on exactly what the jump save is?
We've been taking soil samples from all over Huddersfield. We found that the earth is very soft. What we need to do is tilt Huddersfield to create a digging your heels in effect. To do this, we need to create an ultra-bionic vibe, which was famously used in the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It was nothing to do with poor foundations. But by creating this vibe, it will tilt Huddersfield, thus stopping the movement.
So, how do you create ultra-bionic vibes?
One suggestion put forward is all the residents of Huddersfield get together in the Waterloo area and then jump at the same time. The ultra-bionic vibe then will move the soft earth beneath it, thus putting Huddersfield on a tilt.
So, this will put an end to all the problems Huddersfield faces?
Well, not exactly, but there is as much as an 82% chance of it working. There's still an 18% chance exists that the movement will continue. On the plus side, because of the tilt, it would mean that Huddersfield would sit on top of Rochdale and crush it, rather than just become a part of it.
We took Dr. Horsfall's theory to the West Yorkshire Police. The jump save would require hundreds, possibly thousands of officers to monitor the situation. In the most extreme circumstances, there will be major evacuations and unease amongst the residents. Chief Superintendent Morley released this statement. We are aware of the situation involving the shrinking moors. In the event of the jump save, we have procedures in place which would see us draft officers in from Dewsbury. We can guarantee the safety of all Huddersfield and Rochdale residents in the event of an evacuation. We would recommend the Ion Huddersfield team help keep the panic to a minimum in this very sensitive matter.
It's hard to believe that this very point is the cause of such potential destruction. One thing is for certain, we need all Huddersfield residents to join together just for a few moments and jump. One jump will save Huddersfield and, if we're very lucky, crush Rochdale off the map. Jump is the word that will save Huddersfield. This is Bruce Brill, Eye on Huddersfield.